Good morning, boys and girls, ghouls and goblins. Welcome back and hello, good game. I hope to have my sound quality sorted out today for you. The other day I moved my office here into the basement and my audio settings were reset. A little bit unfortunate on yesterday's recording, but from here on out it's going to be a little bit better every time. So we're getting a lot more engagement on the videos, which I really appreciate. That's super duper helpful. People have been changing their subscriptions from private to public. However, it's still not listing for me. If we go into my notifications here, though, I am getting subscribers via notifications. So I think I'm just going to go back through said notifications and grab the first 10 of those, probably. If not, we're going to have to do some comment-based situation where the first 10 comments are going to get it, but I'll let you know ahead of time. Other than that, pop this off here. We've made it into Platinum with relative ease in Little Red Riding Hood, or with Little Red Riding Hood, I guess. And today we are looking at a deck I made called War Crimes. And this deck is dirty, that's why we're calling it that. Where to start? I guess we'll just go through it. We have 2 Llanowar Elves. This is just a little bit of a mana boost because there's some heavy cards here. We also have 2 Paradise Druid, which is similar to the Llanowar Elf, except for you can tap mana of any color, and it's got hexproof for an additional 1 cost. But sometimes that is too much. We also have 4 Dread Horde Butchers, which is absolutely amazing in my opinion. It costs 2 and it's a 1/1 with haste. Whenever Dread Horde Butcher deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, put a 1/1 counter on Dread Horde Butcher, and then when he leaves or dies or leaves the battlefield, other than being exiled I suppose, he's going to deal that much damage in counters to your opponent. So super powerful. We have Bladebrand is an instant for 2. Target creature gains Deathtouch until end of turn. Draw a card. We also are rocking Neoform, one of my favorite cards. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it, and then shuffle your library. So this is letting you pull out a card 1 mana higher than the card you sacrificed. So for example, if we sacrifice our Goblin Chainwhirler, we can pull out the Nicol Bolas or the Rekindling Pheonix, which is what it is all there for. We can also sacrifice powered up Dread Horde Butcher and search for our Chainwhirler, just because he doesn't have trample, and if there's a army of creatures on the other side, just a wall, we can bring our Goblin Chainwhirler in for the cost of 2, and if we have either Status or Bladebrand here, which are both instants and give your creatures Deathtouch, the Chainwhirler will wipe the field. Okay, we also have only 1 copy, because that's all I have, of Treasure Map. So this is just letting you scry for 1, and then once you've scryed 3 times, you can transform it into a land, and when you sacrifice a treasure card, you're able to draw a card. Moving on, the 4 Goblin Chainwhirlers, like we mentioned before. These are 3 red mana, so pretty heavy, but we can search them with Neoform, with only a green and a blue. However, we also have the Paradise Druid to help us get those red lands. We also have 3 Rekindling Pheonixes. This is just a nuke, a lot to deal with for everybody. This is in most decks. Nicol Bolas, the Ravanger. So when he enters the battlefield, your opponent is going to need to discard a card. So that's great. It's like a built-in thought erasure. So if you think of it as, well, you don't get to pick the card, so I guess it's not as good as a thought erasure, but a duress, I guess. So it makes Bolas 3 plus a duress, which is the 1 black. So that's a great value card. And then for 7, you can transform him into the Nicol Bolas, the Arisen, and you're drawing 2 cards for 2. He deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker for -3. -4 is you're taking a creature or planeswalker from the graveyard to the battlefield under your control. And then -12, exile all but the bottom card of the target player's library. So you could even potentially, we're not doing this here by any means, but you could combo this with Jace and exile all your cards of your library except for 1, and then with Jace, win the game. Maybe another day though. And then we really get into the war crimes aspect of it. If that wasn't mean enough, we are looking at widespread brutality, amass 2. When the army you amass deals damage, amass 2, then the army you amass deals damage equal to its power to each non-army creature, including your own as well. So ideally you cast this for 2 and it deals 2 damage to everything, and your Whirler will survive, or your Ravanger or your Pheonix. But keep in mind that this will be damaging your non-army creatures as well. And then we have Status Statue. So like we mentioned Status already, +1/+1 Deathtouch until end of turn, which is great. And then Statue, we can nuke, search for Skontas, or whatever it may be. Destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment for 4. Enter the God Eternals. We played with this yesterday, I believe, a little bit. Enter the God Eternals, deals 4 damage to target creature, and you gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Target player puts top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard and amass 4. We also are in charge of Liliana, the Dread Horde General. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. His +1 ability is to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and -4 ability is each player sacrifices 2 creatures, including yourself, so 4 creatures dying unless you have none on the battlefield, in which case it's just your opponent sacrificing their creatures. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control for each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. That means they are getting a land, a planeswalker, a creature, an enchantment, and an artifact, I believe. We have a ton of lands. We worked in all of the double lands we possibly could here. The shock lands and the tap lands. But we also have 3 islands, 3 mountains, and a forest. So there are some different things that we might end up doing with this deck. Firebrand Fanatic. Oops. So he can sacrifice himself to deal 1 damage to any target, and this actually also works really good with the Deathtouch, the Bladebrand, and the Status. So you could kill any creature with that combo as well. So we like the Dread Horde Butcher, but the Firebrand may be more practical long term. It's really hard to trim. Well, actually it's not. We're going to do it just to see how it works. Liliana, where else? We need the mana, but do we need the green mana? No. If anything, we would take another Paradise Druid. Okay. Summer is in full effect here. We live up north in Alberta. The snow is gone and it is like +20 out. We go from -20 to +20 in 2 days here. So we are trying to be hasteful and get a little bit of sun in us today. going to trim the game volume a little bit for us here as well. Alright, so we're just going forest initially. I'm going to pay for it. Thought about doing the druid, but we won't get the whirler next turn anyways, so we may as well start butchering his health. Thought Erasure, Goblin's gone. This goes our combo, but he could just be control if he's rocking Thought Erasure, right? We could also see Grixis. Another form of control. We have 4 mana available. We are looking to draw a Pheonix or a Bolas. Hopefully our opponent taps. He does. Just collecting the secondary red. I'm still going to attack with my Butcher. A little bit of a time for him to catch up here. We do already have a Deathtouch, so we're going to pop that on our friend. He now has Deathtouch and will now deal damage. Oh no, it's an exile. We did draw our Whirler though. But at this point, I think we will just hold. It's not so much fun to whirl a single creature. I'd like to hit something bigger than that. Okay, so this is good. We can let these Amass tokens build. Alright, we'll get a little discard action going here, which is so great. A third Dread Horde invasion. That's incredible. So this we're going to try to use to our advantage, letting him deal 2 damage to himself each turn. And then, oh wow, that's aggressive.
This isn't your average zombie horde. Impressive, isn't it?
So we are sacking all of the creatures, which basically nullifies our Whirler. It's a incredibly tricky situation that we found ourselves in. Hopefully he makes all his plays here big. We'll give him a nice to let him know we messed right up. Maybe searching for a Thought Erasure here though. It could be troublesome. Oh, Lantern. Hopefully he doesn't play it. It would be a good card. He didn't play it. Oops. So this is going to be a classic nuke of a war crime here. So we're enabling full control. The Whirler comes out, we resolve him to the field. Now we put status on the stack to our Whirler. We can take control off and resolve.
Not today, Death. Wait to find out. They were allowed to serve death. Is enlightening.
So it's a little aggressive because he's able to draw so many cards from that. But we're gonna keep trying here. Liliana is the most broken card in the game, without doubt. It's better than Ugin for sure.
Good help is easy to find in war. I hope you washed your hands first.
So next turn, if we can't deal with our little friend here, I think we're done dinner just because he's entered life gain mode. Wow.
Smelly, but effective.
Okay. So we got to see the interaction, but unfortunately against a Liliana, that is impossible. We'll look at the deck. We apparently need more removal. Okay. So we will drop the treasure map. In hopes of, I guess, an Elderspell. Take 2 Elderspells, cut out a Neoform. I'm going to cut 2 Neoforms, and I'm going to add a Firebrand. Okay. All right. Bloop bloop. We're gonna keep it. I like the God Eternals. I like the huge mana spread. So we've avoided playing our second shock land just to save a little bit of life. We might not need it. We do have a lot of land in hand. And we're getting a free hit here. And we can now Neoform. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get my Paradise Druid out there. Right, we may be able to outramp him. So it's a green stompy deck it's looking like. He must have had a bad drop. I could have neoformed the druid to another whirler, but I might whirl out and then just draw my Pheonix, because whatever this gentleman's doing is starting to frighten me. It's unfortunate just because he's played so many lands. We go up to 5, and we can Neoform him for 5 damage into a Pheonix, which is 6, or sorry, into a Whirler, which equals 6, and attack, which I'm going to do because I like it. It's an 8/8. Wow. Pretty cool. This is ideal. So we drop the Whirler, resolve it. Put status on the stack, resolve it. Full control off. Oh, there we go. And that's that. So instead of neoforming our Butcher to deal more damage, we did the old whirly woo. Originally I was calling this deck the Death Whirler, now known as War Crimes. You see just how powerful it is. Wiping his entire field without touching yours is just ridiculous. We're going to keep this really nice land spread, and we have even a little bit of removal. Mono blue's not going to be fun. We have got a race to Bolas. So he's already got a counterspell. Don't you dare. Okay, he's sacking it, which I do not mind. We're taking his other out. That's a big GG, good game. No, I have no idea. He could roast us. A 2-for-1's amazing though, right? He's looking just to counter. We're gonna do the same thing, let him counter it. No counter. Okay. Yeah, perfect. That's actually a tricky card sometimes. He has another though. Maybe let's test it. Okay, good. All attack, and now we get to go up to 2, which is troublesome for our friend. Okay. Pretty good land. Red aggro deck. No, we need the green. Our lady in green has hexproof though, so that will not work. What is going on here? Oh no. Cavalcade of Calamity. We're gonna go big. I'm thinking definitely go big. Keep with the curve, we get a discard. Ooh, a Flame of Keld. He must have 2 of them. We can transform our Bolas eventually and play the second one. Wow. We don't even need the Deathtouch on our Whirler. It's just old school whirling. Okay, so we won a fair amount just in play, so the deck works. Let's lose some rank. Let's see how we do. RDC 900 coming at ya. Okay, pretty good land. We have a Bolas and we have a turn 2 Butcher. We also have a Pheonix. We are just looking for some red, and there it is. So we need this tapped for the swamp, and then we will come in with this bad boy for the life paying. And we're coming over, Frank. The token race has begun. We are looking at a turn 4 Bolas against a green wrap deck, which is quite ideal. I'm actually going to put him on for the kill. Just because it's a mana creature. And we don't have a Whirler in hand anyways. Shoot. So let's do Bolas first for the discard. Alright, we also get the blocker. That's the worst. So he gets his Ferox out, because he chose to discard it. Brutal, you guys. We cannot catch a break. I should have double blocked the Ferris is what I should have done. Ferox, sorry. So we will double block and our Pheonix comes back. That's it, folks. Oh, we forgot to do... No! Oops. We're gonna do it just a different way. That's the worst. Shoot. Give him an oops. That's totally our bad. We got excited. We didn't go in full control. You absolutely have to go in full control there. We're going to do it again next turn via Neoform, though. Right? So, full control's on. We're sacking this gentleman. It's going to his mouth. Resolve. We need the Whirler. Then we're going here to redeem ourselves. I can't believe we did that, and we're able to come back from it. We get the drop on our friend. He can grab a 4th land, which he's way behind of. And we're coming over now for 7. So we messed that up pretty bad, but I guess in the end it all came around for us, thankfully. It's just a chain Whirlathon, you guys. Okay, cool. So you see there, sometimes the Bolas gets you into trouble. We basically gave him his Ferox, which he would not have been able to cast without us due to the lack of mana. That is the deck War Crimes. It could have been War Games as well, I suppose. I think it works really good right now. We could definitely add a couple things in there, I'm thinking, down the road, such as a find/finality, just to maybe be digging these whirlers not only from your library with Neoform, but back from your graveyard with find. Okay, so that could be a lot of fun as well. Until next time, hello, good game. As always, any engagement is so appreciated. Super duper grateful. Drop a like, drop a comment, send a share out to your friends. Definitely yell out about the gem giveaway for sure to everyone else, because the quicker we can get this rolling, the quicker we're going to be able to reach the tier 2 contests and the tier 3s and the tier 4s, etc. So a lot of super exciting stuff coming up for everyone. Stay tuned, and again, hello, good game.